Yeah, look at them little puppies, guys. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Yeah. Little pre-op beekeeping. Yeah. Yeah. Thursday morning, guys. It's coming Thursday. Going on the knife. Going under and going on a knife. I'm gonna ride the knife. Isn't that great? Yeah. I couldn't believe it, guys. Went in there Thursday. Today's Sunday, Thursday, and to do the pre-op paperwork at the hospital. Wow. You about need an attorney for there. Sitting next to you. You need an attorney for this, guys. I'm telling you. Good thing Miss Daisy was with me. She's a speed reader. She's a secretary. She's been a secretary forever. Yeah, one for her. I'd still be down there. Here's today's Sunday. I'd still be down there trying to figure out the paperwork. I don't know how some of these 80-year-old people coming in there deal with it, but you know, with zero computer, they hand you a tablet. You go through the front desk there. There's some old ancient people there. They got to be 150 apiece. Two old women and an old guy, or two old guys, two old women. And they hobble around there, and then they said, "Where you got to go?" "Well, we're going to pre-register for the operation." "Okay, well then follow me. You got to go down here." So we go down there to another room. He introduces us to these girls. They take us in there. Cajillion questions, and well, I take that back. The old guy takes me down to a room, and there's a whole line of offices. And this dude comes up, and he hands me a tablet. Fill this all out. 16 pages in that tablet, guys. That little computer. 16 pages on that. And there's tons of writing, and it'd take you forever to read it all. Yeah, next, you fill that one out, answer the questions next. So you get done there, and then you pay your copay, and then you go down to another room. They lead you down to another room. There's two nurses in there, and they sucked a little blood out of me, and to see what I was, A positive or whatever, they said, "You got all your pre-op blood work done?" No, nobody's saying anything about pre-op blood work. "Oh, that's got to be done. We got to check and see if your kidney function, this and that. Now, who's your blood people?" I said, "LabCorp." "Well, you could probably have to, with your insurance, you're probably gonna have to go to LabCorp." I said, "Wait, whoa. She said, "Now, we couldn't do all this prior to, when you come in, the girls can pull the blood out of you just before operation. They can run it and see how all your numbers." I said, "Yeah, because the time you go through LabCorp, you're talking 2 weeks to get all this stuff brought back." Wow. Said, okay, we'll do that. So we had to take a deep breath on that one, guys, and relax a little bit, and then so yeah, we do that, and then we go to another. She asked me tons of questions there with that, right? All this stuff should have been handled probably by my other two doctors, actually 3 doctors. I've got my primary, my first urologist, and then the surgeon urologist, right? They've been asking me tons of questions, and I think they even wanted to know what my very first dog's name was back when I was about 6 years old. It was Tiny, by the way. Anyway, but they didn't ask me about Tiny, but they asked me every other question. Anyway, we got all that squared away, and then we got to go to another room to talk to another lady. And she gives me all the good stuff there, information, more, millions of questions. And we walk in, and the woman immediately looks at Miss Daisy and says, "You look familiar." Now, granted, we got masks on, right? We got masks on, guys. The woman's got a mask on. Miss Daisy's got a mask on. And you look familiar. I'm going, really? She said, did you work for hospital administration down somewhere? She said, yeah, 20 some years, 22 years ago. This lady remembered Miss Daisy from 22 years ago with a mask on, guys. And this woman looks at pre-registered people by the gajillions. She's an RN, too. I could not friggin' believe it. I could not believe it, guys. She couldn't either. Miss Daisy couldn't. But so they're sitting there chitty-chatting. They're having a big old time. Strolling down memory lane here. And it goes. Anyway, that was kind of interesting. But anyway, we got the paperwork squared away. And I'm good to go. I'm ready to go. Ready to get her done. The last operation I had was in '02. I had a double hernia where they put the mesh in down there. They put 2 slices about that long right down by the boys, up above the boys in there. Yeah, had that done in '02. And I was Mr. Tender Lightfoot on that deal for about 6 weeks. And this surgeon told me here, he said, you ain't going to be doing nothing, the old B-box lifting for 6 weeks. I said, okay, so I can get back in 6 weeks. So we got right in it. I said, you're doing this to me right in the middle of a breeding season here. He said, well, is there ever a good time to do one of these? I said, no, sir, there isn't. No, yeah, I guess you're right. There's never a good time, so let's just get her done. He says, okay, we'll get her done, and you should be up and running in 6 weeks. Start playing with your bees again. So that's a good thing. So anyway, that's enough of that stuff. Now, I want to talk to you guys about you starter beekeepers. You guys just getting into bees. Yeah, I want to talk to you guys about just starting out getting into bees. Now, don't if you fail at it, don't get discouraged, guys. Don't throw in the towel. I see it all the time. I see bee boxes. Was in bees. It's not for me. Here's some equipment for sale and all that. No. Don't get out of bees, guys. If you fail, start up again. Don't think you're going to just get 1 box of bees. No, don't get just 1 box of bees and think you're going to do it. I see so many guys do that. Today it's a little different game. It's a little tougher game with these parasites we have on these bees that we have to deal with. You have to learn about them as well as you have to learn about the bees, how to raise the bees, how to breed queens, how to graft, all that stuff. That'll all come in time. But don't get discouraged. If you have 1 hive and it fails, the main thing is make sure, guys, they're fed well. If there's nothing coming in, if you don't see pollen on their legs coming in, there's probably no nectar coming in to speak of either. So make sure you feed them. And make lots of bees. Get a lot of equipment. Now the best thing for me personally, I just work 5-frame boxes basically. And as you get older and this stuff gets heavier and heavier, this may be the way for you to go. You can raise a lot of bees. You can raise your entire operation with 5-frame nuke boxes. You don't need the 8s and the 10 framers. So anyway, I'm going to explain a few little strategies to you that you can expand your colonies. Right now you see these colonies, I've got them stacked up 2 high. You can go as many as 4 high with these 5s and do all right. So that's going to be 20 frames of bees, right? 20 frames of bees. You could go 4 high with them. Now, if you want to split, you're talking about splitting. I'm at the point now where I can play grafting games. And I happen to have right here in my possession the magic. This is what I call the magic Martin wheel. See this wheel that turns here? This is the magic Martin wheel. Now he made this up for me. You can get it. There's a down here. There's a site you can go to. There's a site there you can go to. It is SUSQUEHANNA beekeepers.org. And they have this. You can print it out. Now, he printed this out on a color printer. Then he took it to a lamination shop and they laminated it for him. I think he burnt 2 copies and he gave me one. I told him I had the little DC gadget wheel, and he said, "Well, Steve, you're getting old. You're getting, you're getting at that age now. You're getting old, so you're probably going to need something bigger, eye-sighted thing here, Martin looks out for me, guys. Martin and I have been good friends here. He's a migratory beekeeper. He does 6 months in Florida, 6 months in Wolverine, Michigan. Now, if you ever get up to Wolverine, Michigan, he's doing well up there. He's got a chainsaw shop. So you get into Wolverine there. He's got his, I don't know what highway he's on. If he wants me to leave his email address, I will put it in the description below. I haven't talked to him in a few days. And if he says, yeah, go ahead, I'll put his email address in there. But he's in Wolverine. He sells bees. He fixes chainsaws, small engines. I think chainsaws is his bread and butter, and he'll sell you a chainsaw. So go to Martin. He'll sell you a chainsaw, and he'll sell you some queens. He does queens, and he may do packages, but I think he's pretty much queens and nukes. Okay, and anyway, so he's up there, and him and I exchange beekeeping strategies, and it's kind of cool to have a friend that you can communicate with on a regular basis. All of us beekeepers do that. Try to join a club. We have a club here in Pasco County, and I haven't been to the last few meetings, but I'm going to try to get to them after I get this surgery stuff nonsense out of the way and I'm up and running. I'll try to get to them, but yeah, it's good to communicate with other beekeepers and learn tricks, Don't be bashful. Just get into it. But what my strategy is here, if you guys are just getting into bees and want to expand, say you buy a packaged bees, all right, and you dump it, I would suggest you dump it in a 5-frame nuke. Take that packaged bees and dump it in a 5-frame nuke. That 3-pound package and a 5-frame nuke will work out really nice. You can dump it in there, buy a bunch of extra boxes, or make them like I'm doing. I'm making these pallet hives, guys. I'm buying my end material, which is 2x8 material, which ends up like 7 1/4, 7 1/2. Either will work in there, and I make the ends with that, and I put pallet wood on the sides. And that box with the end material, I'm getting 12 boxes out of 2 2x10s, and I think that worked out to $3 a hive. So $3 a hive is pretty darn good. If you go to Man Lake and start pulling up the numbers on those things, as 5-frame nooks, yeah, they get pricey. For a top, I just use a plywood top, cut to size. For the bottom, I just been stapling, take a 5-frame nook, especially with my new hives, because they're 10 inches high. And what I can do is staple 8 screen right to the bottom, and then I cut 2 pieces of 3/4 plywood, the width of the hive, and about 3 inches, and I cantilever one end of it where the entrance will be, and then the back end of the hive I do flush, and I just screw it to the bottom. I take a paddle blade and I bore a hole through it. Now, if you're using Dadant equipment, standard equipment, you won't have much room on the bottom. If you staple that screen right to the bottom, because there's only a small gap there, you might get away with it. Check it out. If not, put a little fur strip around there, 3/4 fur strip around, and then you can slap your screen to that, or you can make removable bottoms. But most of my hives, I leave 1 unit permanent screen bottom, and then of course I make extra boxes to where I can stack them up. Everything's interchangeable and all that. So yeah, if you guys are starting out, you get a 3-pound package, dump it in a 5-frame nuke, add your queen, put sugar water on them, and let them build up. Just as that thing builds up, keep an eye on it. Let them fill it out. Let them fill that thing out. Then take another box, once they about got it filled out, don't let them jam it out to where she's going to swarm on you. Give her elbow room. Keep feeding them. Get another box and put on top of that one. Take one frame from below, put it upstairs. Put that empty one you took out below, drop an empty in there. Fill up the rest of the box with frames up there. So you're going to have another 5 on top of the 5. Let them fill that up, right? This is toward kind of the spring. You don't want to, if you're getting towards September, like I can shut down. I usually shut down September, my last breeding round of queens. Shut it down. I shut it down September. That gives me time to fatten up. My last honey flow, which is Brazilian pepper, it hits religiously September 15th. It pops. And you've got, it's so hot, guys, I'm going to fire this truck up. Yeah, I'm going to be sweating, guys, today. It is going to be like 110 out here. So I'm gonna dress light. I'm gonna have my light shirt on here, but it's cloudy. The bees are probably gonna be ornery. I'm just gonna have to take some bee venom therapy, but that's fine. Anyway, so once you blow that out, what you can do then is take an excluder now. Take an excluder and put in between. I like to do it on a new moon. Between new moon and full moons when I like to do all this queen action. Put that excluder in there, right? Even if you just got the one hive, put that excluder in there. Come back in 5 days. Open up that top box. See if you got eggs in there. If you've got eggs in there, you got that queen in there. Immediately snatch that off. You can turn her around on that same stand, or if you got another, better yet, if you got another location like I've got right here. I've got these 2 yards are 4 miles apart. My base camp and this yard are 4 miles apart. Perfect. Then I can load her up, take to my base camp. Any base camp bees I can bring here if I like. You can do that, or you can put it on the same stand, turn it and facing the other direction, the one with the queen in it. The queenless portion, go downstairs and see if you've got some 4-day-old larvae in there. I'm going to show you this grafting wheel in a minute. The magic Martin wheel. I'm going to show you this in a second. And I have a strategy what I'm going to do now that I've got enough beehives to play with. That's the thing. You got to have enough beehives to, what I'm about to explain to you, you got to have enough beehives. You could do 10, you could do this with 10 hives, and do pretty good with it. And because I want to be grafting like 15 queen cells at a time, okay? So, yeah, you can do this. You can go ahead and let them go ahead and make a queen. Or if you can really speed the thing up, if you've got somewhere where you can buy a mated queen, that queenless portion now, come in the next day. Come in the next day. Let it sit for 24 hours. You've already moved your queen over. Put the entrance going the opposite direction. Wait 24 hours. That bottom portion is going to realize we don't have a queen. We need a queen. They're going to immediately start jumping on the 4-day-old larva. They're going to start making their own queen. They may make a half a dozen cells. If they do, leave them all in there. Just leave them all in there and let the best girl win when she hatches out. She's going to be your best queen. Now, it can happen where 2 queens pop at the same time and they're going to get into a battle and they're both going to get injured and they may not make it to the mating flight. That happens. I get that, okay? But on average, it's 80% success rate, guys. 80%. The beauty of what I'm telling you is you've got a massive amount of bees in this thing, and they will make them, when you have a jam-packed nuke like that, even on a walk-away split, this is called a walk-away split, with that jam-packed nuke, because all the field force is, that's the reason I left it on the bottom in the original position, the queenless portion. All that field force is coming back into that colony that is not, have a queen in it. The other queen, the original queen, she's going to be moved around. Things are going to be happening normally there. Now, on that box, add another box and pull up one frame up to the top section, so they can start getting used to that top section. They can blow that out. Put a feeder on that thing. Keep them feeding. Your queenless portion, if you're doing a walk away, put your date on there. 1 month from that day, whatever day it is, okay? 1 month. Just put a check, whatever. Date it. That's it. You're gonna come back as you're wandering through your bee yard, or you can put a note on your phone. It'll you know, alert on your phone that day. It'll come up and you'll see. You got to get in there and check for that queen. But don't go in there for 30 days. Don't even fool around with that hive for 30 days. Even if you add a queen, you can come back, a mated queen, you can come back in 4 or 5 days and make sure she's chewed out of that cage. They've chewed her out of that cage and she's going around doing her business. If not, open the door and let her out. All right, make sure she gets out of there and goes to work. So, but here's a thought now, what I'm thinking about doing. I've got enough bees now to play with, okay? And this is something you can do after you can just keep doing this excluder thing I'm talking about. The beauty of this is you do not have to find the queen. Yeah, as you get working bees and you get to working a lot of bees, guys, time is precious, okay? So you're sitting there wasting 10, 15, 20 minutes fooling around looking for queens. No good. We're burning daylight, son. We're burning daylight. We don't have time for that shenanigans. You know where your queen at because you've played the Steve-O excluder trick. Now, a lot of guys will use the double screen. I've seen a lot of commercial guys, some of them using the double screen boards. That's cool. That's cool. A lot of those guys, though, are further north of me. And they have cooler temperatures they're dealing with, and what they're doing is utilizing the bottom chamber. The bottom chamber is heat rises, right? It comes up through to, and usually they'll put the queenless portion once they determine. They do the excluder trick like I'm talking about, and they'll come back in a few days and they'll find that, about 4 or 5 days, and they'll find that where that queen is. And what they normally do is leave the queen below an existing stand and move the queenless portion up, and they'll put a cell in up there. And they use these double screen boards, and it's got an entrance one way. Well, they'll turn the entrance going the opposite way of the existing hive. Then they'll add a queen cell up top. Well, they're letting the heat come up through there. By the time, and that double screen thing, guys, you just don't put it on one side. 1/8 inch screen, you don't just put it on one side. Normally they'll bore 2 holes through it, like 2 3/4 feeder holes like I do. And then they'll put screen on the top, screen on the bottom. Well, that separation in there, they can't touch each other, those bees from top and bottom. So they can't share pheromones, all right? So now that top portion is totally isolated from the bottom. But the only trick they're doing, these commercial guys in the north of me are doing, is utilizing that body heat to bring up in that upper colony. So that's a cool trick that they do. But here in this inferno that I'm working in, this hell heat, I don't need to play that game, okay? So, but here's something that I'm going to do. So that's something you guys can do if you're just starting out. And you can just keep doubling your boxes right along. And you can use the 5-framers and accomplish this pretty nice. But here's what I'm going to do. I got the magic martin wheel here. And as we all know, right there, you see that little bitty egg? There's a little bitty egg right there. Here's day 1. I got this wheel dialed in on the first. This is your outside calendar date here, okay? Man Lake sells these, by the way. Or you can go out and make one. Anyway, or you can go to DC Gadget. DC Gadget's got that little aluminum wheel, and that's excellent. Right here is an egg. From that egg to right here, in this lane right here, 16 days. So from an egg to a queen, there's your queen, popping out of this cell, 16 days it takes, all right? But now to graft, you want to graft on the 4th day. Here's grafting day. That little half is just a very small comma, right? You could actually graft on 5 too. This is just going to hatch a day earlier. This is a timing thing. So when you guys get into grafting, you know, it's a timing thing, and you have to be able to donate time to this. If you've got a full-time job, like I used to have on a pipeline, I really didn't have time to, I dabbled in grafting, but I didn't have time. Everything I did was walk away. But the problem with walk away is you just keep inbreeding and inbreeding and inbreeding, and eventually you're going to get some very vicious bees like I used to have. And it's full on. Trust me, guys, it is full monkey suit when you get into mean inbred bees. Now, you'll make a lot of honey. I made tons of honey, barrels of honey, but it is vicious, okay? Especially in Florida, we have a high Africanized strain here. And matter of fact, every bee that I produce, I don't care how good the stuff is or where it came from. When I'm doing open mating flighting here, you're getting about 10 to 20% Africanized. Now that's coming from the state of Florida telling me this. The state bee inspector told me this. You're always going to have some Africanized in your bees, but the main thing is try to keep it down. But anyway, back to this. What I will do here with my little plan that I'm going to do right here, day 1, I'm going to make up a cell builder. I'm going to make up a cell builder, a queenless cell builder out of a 5-frame nook, and I'm going to pack that baby full. I'm going to have a lot of steel brood in there. I'm going to have just 1 frame of pollen and honey. The rest is going to be solid steel brood with just a few eggs on day 1. All right, day 4, I'm going to come back in here. Day 4, I'm going to come back into that box. They're going to be making cells in there. All right. I'm going to steal the royal jelly out of those cells. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to steal the royal jelly out of there so I can graft. All right. The same day that I do that, day 5, day 4, okay, day 4, I'm going to go in there and find those little larvae, because I had eggs in there. Remember, I left eggs in my cell builder. It's going to be cram-packed full. These bees are going to, all sealed brood is going to be emerging. I'm going to have one heck of a field. We're going to have a heck of a strong force of bees in there. So on my 4th day, here's the 1st day I made my cell builder. 4th day, I'm going to go in there and rob royal jelly out of there, okay? At that same time, actually, I'm sorry, let me back up. The day before I graft, I'm going to go in and rob out. I'm going to go out and rob out the cells that they are making, so I can collect royal jelly, because I wet graft. The day that I graft, okay, at that same time when I rob the royal jelly, I'm going to put in my cell bar in there, so they can spit, shine, and polish that cell bar. Yes, the day here I come in and rob those cells out that they've made, and I'm gonna pull the larva out, and I'm gonna dip out all that royal jelly, and I'm gonna put it in a little container and put it inside my incubator. This is nice to do, guys, I'm telling you, with an incubator, and I'll show you in a second. So I've stole that royal jelly, and I've slid in my cell bar on day 3. They can go ahead and be spit, shining, and polish that. 24 hours later, I come back, I pull that out, that bar out of there, that stolen royal jelly I prime my cells with, and I graft on day 4. Day 4 here says graft, right? I'm grafting, okay? Now, on that same day that I graft, I'm putting in my excluders in all these hives. All these hives that I want to split, I want them packed out top and bottom, right? I can quickly go in there and find my queen right portion and move her over. The queenless portion I can drop down. Now I have a queenless hive. Alright, now I can go over now, and 5 days later I can put that into my cells here. My cells are going in 5 days later. They're going to go into the incubator. See that incubator? It's going to go into the incubator. All right. Now, the day before, on the 13th, I can go ahead and stick in a cell. I can stick it on the 12th day. On the 12th day, guys. On the 12th. Let me back up. On the 12th day, I'm pulling apart the hive. I'm pulling the excluder. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm pulling the excluder out of those hives on the 12th day. Okay. On the 13th day, they're going to be 24 hours here. They've been out. I can go 13th or 14th day. They've been out. I could go 12th or 13th day. I can pull that excluder and move those hives around. Okay. On the 14th day, you want to install into your hive. So they've been on the 12th or 13th day. They've been 1 or 2 days with no queen. Don't go any longer than that. And on the 14th day, you're going to install that queen cell into the queenless portion. The day before, you've moved it around, the queen off, pulled that excluder, moved her around, and now you're going to put a cell in there. Okay. Now you can once you get working this wheel, you could go ahead and wait if you want to let your queen hatch off in the incubator, or you can just drop her in the cell in there and let her get going. Then in 2.5, 3 weeks, you can come back and see if she's come back in her mating flight. So that's, you know, that's what you can do with a magic Martin wheel, and make increases on these hives fast. And you don't have to sit there and spend a whole bunch of time hunting down queens and all that stuff. So anyway, let me suit up here. Let me get into these colonies. We're going to do some oil towels. Hey, David. We're going to do some oil towels. What we got here is ½ gallon of canola oil in this bucket. We got 4 rolls. You got 50 milliliters of eucalyptus oil, 50 milliliters of tea tree, 50 milliliters of camphor, pharmaceutical grade. And what we're going to do is I'll show you, we're going to take half of a roll, we're going to tear off one sheet and tear that in half with these nooks and put a half of a roll on each one. We're also going to put on a fresh beetle barn. I've reloaded these. The old ones are coming out. So we'll do that and get these done. I've got sugar water, we're throwing that on, and getting these bees on autopilot because I won't be able to work them for 6 weeks. Okay guys, today's Sunday and I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday is my last day to play with bees, and it's 50 and 60% all 3 days. So anyway, what I'm going to do here is these are my oil towels. You can get to, with that amount of material, I was telling you about the ½ gallon of canola, and you've got 50 milliliters of eucalyptus, 50 tea tree, and 50 camphor. With that amount of mix, you can get 4 rolls soaked up. This stuff is really strong smelling. You can handle it. It's just essential oil. But I just tear them in half and use that much for a 5 framer. So for these 4, all I need is 2 towels. I put the rest back in the bucket to keep them sealed up so that nothing evaporates. It's cloudy out. I don't know how vicious these bees are going to be. They shouldn't be too bad. I don't raise mean bees, do I? No, no. Good thing I'm putting in beetle barns, guys. There's quite a few beetles here. Okay guys, job done. Yeah, they're going to be on autopilot. They're light on food. They're light on food. So this will help pump them up, and there's plenty of room. There's just not that much nectar coming in now. I didn't think there would be, and so anyway, we'll keep them pumped up with sugar water, and they're bringing in pollen. They are bringing in some pollen right there. See it? So anyway, all right, we'll get back to base camp and work them bees. Let's check that hive that I sucked up in the vacuum cleaner the other day. I got to go through all my hives at the other yard and do the same thing. But let's check that swarm that I got sucked up with the vacuum cleaner. We'll check it out. Yeah, guys, when you got a yard full of bees, what I do is just run around and count up all my hives, and then I pull these out. I'm really impressed with these little beetle barns. I just got them freshly loaded. So I got it freshly loaded. And all the ones that I see and pull out, I would just throw in a Ziploc and I throw in the freezer. And all these will get plugged with propolis because the bees like to entomb those beetles. If you've got the lid sitting up a little bit, say up like that, bees will crawl in here and they will die in here because they're going to eat some of that bait, okay? And that is Max Force roach gel bait. But if you keep it closed down, locked down tight, what I do is throw them in the freezer, and then I just bring them out here in the shed while they're still cold. You know, I'll say about 15, 20 of them come out here when I'm ready to clean them. And when they're cold, this propolis just snaps right out of there real easy. And then the bait you have in here gets really hard. So I just take a paper towel and wipe it out and reload it. But I count up my hives and see I got a whole bucket full. So I've got 25 right here in this yard that need these. There is more. There's about 30 hives here. I've got some over there that I've already done. So it works good. I just fill them all up, throw them in my bucket, and I'm going to get another bucket. I'll carry 2 buckets, ones that are plugged up. Well, all of them in here are going to get changed out regardless. So I'll get another bucket, throw those in another bucket, and then I just throw my towels in this same bucket here. And go on. Let's open this one up and see what we got here. This is, remember, I had the bees all up in there, swarm in there the other day. So I'm kind of curious what we have here. They got a little syrup left here. So they didn't swarm off again, don't look like. I did, as an allure attractant, put in 2 frames here. I stole off from another colony, and I put in here to keep them in here. You need kind of like a little magnet action to keep them in the box. Otherwise, they may swarm off on you again. They may swarm off on you again anyway, but this helps, okay? This helps. Where this swarm came from, like I said before, I don't have a clue. I've got a different type of veil on. I'm having a hard time seeing these eggs in here. Yeah, I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them now. It's got like a mosquito netting on it. I caught my other one in a darn briar. A briar was sticking out over there, and it grabbed it and put a tear in it. But I've got a little China woman over here at a dress shop, and one of the dry cleaning places. I've got some material. Hobby Lobby has that tully netting, and it's tully netting is what that veil net was made of. And I see Man Lake has got one, but it's I don't like it because it's a different drawstring on it. I want elastic at the top and a drawstring at the bottom. This queen here is laying well. quite well. I don't see her yet. You guys usually see them before I see them. Boy, she's loading this thing up, guys. She is really doing good. So all I know, guys, I got a queen in here. And I don't need to hunt her down. And I don't have time to fool around. I'm going to pull one more frame here. Looks like they're drawing out this one. Yeah, they're drawing this out nice, and guys, she's loading that thing with eggs. She is loading it up. So guys, we got a nice little free hive of bees here. And hey, she's not too ornery here. Not a bit. Not a bit ornery. So yeah, this is doing great. So let's give them a beetle. Some of these guys I pulled out of the freezer there, was open them up to clean them and reload them. Make sure these are snapped down. See, this one was gapped open. Let's make sure they're snapped down good before you put them in your box. And I'm going to put this over here. See, with my hives here, you've got enough room here. You've got enough room to get a lid on. On a regular standard date ant hive, you do not. Like this is a standard date ant hive here. You're gonna have to put that thing on the bottom floor. And I think you kill more beetles on the top up here. I really do, guys. I think you kill more beetles on the top. Those oil things, oil trap things you can buy and put in, man, I'm over those. Some guys put diatomaceous earth in them. And then you spill that all over, and then the bees are getting into diatomaceous earth. Now you're killing bees. I don't kill no bees with it. The only thing I kill with these things, guys, is hive beetles, okay? Now, if your crack is open a little bit on that thing, make sure that's closed. Because I have killed bees with these, they'll crawl inside. These are great. You got a hole here, hole here, hole here, hole here. And they like to get around those ends, you know. Those bees will chase them in these boxes. Once they get in there, they're going to eat some of that bait, and they are going to die. So let's get a towel here. Let's tear this towel in half for this little old 5 framer. On a 10 framer, I put this in. I like to put these in the back end of the hive. That way they're going to pull this out and drag everything forward, drag them all across these frames and out that front door. And when they do that, they're dragging that material all across those. I think these things will help take out varroa mites, tracheal mites, and I don't think the hive beetles will like this stuff at all. Stuff smells great. I like the smell of it. Yeah. All right, what this hive needs, guys, is more syrup. I'm going to stand up. I'm just leave the tops off of these as I go. And I'm putting a round of syrup on every hive I've got today. That'll be their last shot of syrup until I get back up and running and to where I can come out, because I'm not going to be able to lift heavy pails for about, he said no lifting for 6 weeks, because you will have you'll herniate them. They're putting pipes down through on this operation. They're shoving pipes, and there's 6 pipes to go in to shove all of the robotic tools in. So I'll look like Frankenstein laying out on the slab there. So anyway, yeah, and so you don't want to do no lifting with this operation, because you could actually push a gut back through one of them blowholes they're putting in you, and you herniate one of those, and yeah, you're going to go back in. So you have to be careful. He said 6 weeks. I'll probably do 7 or 8 weeks to be on the safe side. But so I will fill up these. Now I could say about the 5th or 6th week, come up and give me something to do. Is take a jar at a time and put sugar water in and mix it and bring it back out, a single jar at a time, and put it out. All right, guys, get working in bees. And you know, when you're doing the walkaways, use that excluder trick. Use that to your advantage, so you don't have to play hunting games. You know, we went in this hive right here and just now. We know we have a good queen in here. She's laying up a storm. Did I need to find her? No, I didn't. All I can see is what she's doing. She's doing a great job. We'll find her down the road. No big deal. We'll find her down the road when I split this hive, when I put that excluder in between and set another box on here. After I put another box after they blow this 5 out, time I get back and running, up and running in 6 weeks, this hive should be, they'll fill that bottom out, especially if I keep food on them. They'll fill that bottom out and start cranking on the top. As soon as they fill this top up, I want full 10 frames of bees in this box. 5 and 5. Then we're going to do our excluder trick in there. When you hobbyists get up there to, say, 10 hives and 20 hives, then you can start playing the grafting game, okay? Using the little wheel, timing it, and all that. But for right now, until you get up to 10, 20 colonies, forget the grafting. Buy some queens from whoever. Martin up there, wherever. Martin can ship queens too, by the way. He raised some excellent stock. He can ship you a queen. He has no problems doing that. Ship you a queen and have it on your doorstep the next day or whatever, overnight it to you. I don't know what he gets for them, but anyway, if you need queens, he can probably fix you up. He'll be breeding up there until probably, I'm think he's going to roll back into town around October something. I think he'll be back here, and he'll be breeding bugs back down here too. So yeah, he's going to keep. We're going to try to keep old Martin busy. Anyway, so use that excluder trick. Get yourself worked up to 10 or 20 colonies, if you can. If not, if you're a backyard beekeeper in town, say, you can raise bees on a rooftop, guys. The guys are raising bees on top of apartment buildings. Yeah, there's ways to do it. And if you want to just keep a couple, 3 colonies, that's fine. But always keep making more bees, because you never know when one colony is going to swarm off. And then that new queen cell that they've made before they swarm, it may not come back. You only get 80% chance on it of her getting mated, coming back, and getting back in that box and cranking up again. So always have more nukes cooking. So don't think you're going to get away with one beehive. You're not going to. And it's addictive, okay, guys? This is addictive. It's hunter's crack pipe, okay? This beekeeping, remember that. It's as addictive as hunter's crack pipe, all right? So I don't want you on the crack. Don't misunderstand me now. So I want you into bees. And, hey, God bless you guys. Thanks for coming by. And keep after it. And say a prayer for old Steve-O on the 17th. June 17th is when I'm going to go under the knife. All right? Catch you all later. Be strong. Be happy. And I'll catch you on the next one. See ya. Okay, a couple quick notes before I leave you guys. These 2 here were the black queens, if you remembered. Okay. And I just put a brand new pallet hive, one of my new pallet hives on here, because she has completely blown this thing out. And that one has got about half blown out. So I put, this is my, if I want to have a queen for a breeder, I put an asterisk on. If she's a super good queen, I put 2 asterisks on there. That's the black queen, and that's the black queen. I produced 2 of them. I produced them before, but they never got back from mating flights. They were introduced as virgins. Anyway, yes, breeder queen right here, guys. Yeah. See these pallets, guys? No. Rebar legs, no more. No more. Rebar legs, no more. I'm going to use that plywood actually for sides of a beehive, guys. It's not going to waste. Yeah, these rebars are getting pulled out. Here's our new game plan. And the pallet, we did the tar and diesel fuel. No more of that either. I got my ass chewed out, guys. I had spilled some of that on my shoes and a little bit on my pants. And Miss Daisy gave me some reprimanding. So no more diesel fuel. It's great. That diesel trick I told you about before is great if you're going to make clip pallets. But make you a dip tank, 4-foot square dip tank, 1 foot high, and make a boom situation so you can boom them in and out of the vat. Do not get it on your clothing, but it will gas off in about a month or two, but not in Miss Daisy's laundry room. No, you're not going to do that, okay? So we're not doing that anymore. I did tall earth the top of this with a brush. I'm gonna start putting these all on blocks. These pallets on blocks. It's not like, guys, I have a shortage of blocks. Okay, I don't have a shortage of blocks. Anyway, I'm gonna put tall earth in a pump sprayer, and I'm gonna spray the bottom, and I'm gonna spray the entire pallet before I put it on the blocks, and then put the bees. Then you can put the bees right on it right away. I let this gas off for a couple days. It was so smelly out here. I could smell it stepping out of the back door, and my back door is way over there. I could smell that diesel. I have not used the diesel and tar since the mid-80s. So I guess I forgot how stinky it was, but it works excellent for clip pallets. So keep that in mind if you ever go commercial. It's a good trick. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of these stupid rebar legs. It's like a Joe. I think I had maybe I had too much Joe in me that day when I rigged these up. So let's get away from Joe and get things done correctly. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.